China economy strong. Building China economy for China, for China. Hello everyone, as we once again cover the most powerful economy on Earth, created by the most powerful country on Earth. We are of course speaking about China, and as we all know, China economy strong. And yes, I will be abusing that sound effect. I actually have a sound effect. So this is about the Apple factories in China. Apple, as many of you know, is the favorite brand of swipples and hipsters. Apple is seen as a progressive company which caters to liberal social values, workers' rights, the environment, and in general, a left-wing, upper-middle-class lifestyle. Um, Apple fans, I'm sure there are some who aren't, but I find they tend to be pretty arrogant, kind of obsessed with status signaling, and just I generally don't get along very well with them. I mean, I've met some people who like Apple products, but I find most people who claim to be Apple fans just like the status signal. But anyways, that's neither here nor there. I shouldn't be criticizing Apple because Apple is a progressive company. And why is that? Because Apple is making China economy strong. Apple computers make iPhone in China. iPhone production make China economy strong. So let's take a look at Apple's socially progressive, responsible capitalist policy in China. Inside Apple's Chinese sweatshop, oh, this is from the Daily Mail, and I'll post a link to it. Inside Apple's Chinese sweatshop factory, well, that's good. I mean, sweating is healthy. I mean, like, the Finns have, like, something called a sauna that you have to pay to go in, and you, like, sweat all the toxins out. And I mean, given the air quality that's been created in China as part of making the economy strong, the fact that people have to wear gas masks outside, a sweatshop where they get to sweat out all the toxins they take in, that is a service, that is efficiency right there. So the economy gets, or let's do a verse on this. Toxins in air from strong economy get sweated out in sweatshop. Save trip to doctor to save GDP growth from I don't know, medical insurance or something. I don't know, it helps. It saves the medical costs of having to treat people for these pollution related illnesses. So factories covered in suicide nets to stop workers from leaping to their deaths. My guess is that they're reactionaries. There's some kind of like rightist reactionary forces that are trying to hurt China economy strong. So these people are traitors to China because if they were smart, then they would. No, I mean if they were loyal to China, then they would not lead to their deaths. They would just continue to work away to make economy strong. It could be though that they realize they have cancer or something, and they want to save the Chinese state the cost of their medical care, because that money can be reinvested in a heavy industry. So let's read through this article. Apple have opened the doors to their Chinese sweatshop factories where employees are paid as little as $1 an hour. Sorry, £1 an hour. Well, what can you say about that? I mean, I'm pretty sure Apple supported the minimum wage raise, but they acknowledge implicitly here that a higher minimum wage would be bad for the economy, and they want to make China economy strong, so they pay a low minimum wage so they can hire more people and produce more products. The difference is probably paid in bribes. I mean, legitimate cash donations to the Communist Party. Many of the staff perform monotonous tasks like wiping down screens or shaving aluminum from the edge of the Apple logo for 10 tedious hours at a time. Well, that is just excellent service to their country and to making China economy strong. Because unlike most civilized countries where people only have to work 8 hours a time or they're paid overtime, this is China. And China people work longer shifts, endangering their health to make economy strong. Yeah. So, and now the conditions where inside the Apple factory in Shenzhen, where 18 employees have killed themselves, can now be seen after ABC TV network was given exclusive access. Let's see here. The broadcast revealed that the entry-level salary of $180 a month is so low that it would take more than 2 months to pay for the cheapest iPad. People in China have better things to do than like enjoying their lives with iPads. iPad, symbol of Western degeneracy. China workers spend all time making economy strong. Yeah, they don't like. Why would they use the products they make? That's for degenerate Westerners. Yeah. Even if the lowest earners do the maximum available overtime of 80 hours per month. Wow, these people are dedicated to trying to kind of be strong. How does that even work? They still do not earn enough to pay tax. Previous reports have claimed that some of the workers were doing 24-hour shifts at a time, while others were forced to stand for their entire shifts. That's dedication to making the economy strong. That's workers' rights right there. That's being a socially progressive, localized, frappo macchiato, hipster, alter globalization, eco-capitalist right there. While the Nightline documentary knocks down these suggestions, it does show that the suicide nets covering the whole site in place to stop overwork and stressed employees leaping to their deaths. Managers were asked to put up the nets 2 years ago after 9 workers committed suicide in the space of 3 months. Pay is so low that Apple, the world's most valuable technology company, has faced claims that their contractors are forcing staff to do overtime involuntarily and employing underage workers at the factory. Child labor take away childhood. Playing is for Western children. China children work to make economy strong. Exactly. Exactly my point. Let's see here. Okay. Liang Yuan told ABC News that the management is strict. You think? Wearing a white boiler suit in the spotless factory, it is her job to flip over camera lenses with a tiny pair of tweezers. Asked what she thinks about performing the dull task, she says, "I don't think much about other things because the management is strict and we're busy working and have no time to think about other things because they're too busy making China economy strong." Despite the boring jobs, unemployed Chinese workers queue up for work, and employees say that the working conditions are much better than at other factories. I guess the other factories require them to do a lot more to make the economy strong. Workers are charged around £11 per month to share a dormitory with 7 other people and pay around 50 pence for a rice dish in the cafeteria. Apple have allowed independent examiners from their Washington-based Fair Labor Association to carry out inspections. Yep, nothing says fair labor like suicide nets. Let's see here. A Foxconn employee fell from the apartment building after losing iPhone prototype. 18 more workers have tried to commit suicide over the next 2 years. 137 workers injured at Suzhou facility owned by Apple supplier Wintech, injured by poisonous chemical used to clean iPhone screens because it dried faster. 4 workers dead and 18 injured in dust explosion at Foxconn factory, which produces iPad parts. Well, removing the dust would take up valuable time and decrease GDP growth. 61 workers injured in gas explosion, which was trailing aluminum iPad 2 back panels. The Foxconn City group of factories run by Foxconn Technologies Group employs 235,000 workers, and Microsoft, Dell, and Hewlett-Packard projects are also built on the site. Which is also problematic, but those companies don't have nearly the SWIPO liberal thing that the other guys do. Over the next 2 years, at least 18 other Foxconn workers were linked to attempted suicides. Despite claims to the contrary, the abuses appear to have continued. You mean the making China economy stronger has continued. With demand for the firm's products soaring, the factory is forced to churn out products in growing numbers. Last year they sold... Okay, yeah, etc., etc. Apple said 60,000 workers have been sent on college courses for free, and they have informed 1 million staff of their legal rights. Oh. Oh, Apple, you're so magnanimous. The thing is, though, in China, legal rights take backseat to making economy strong. Exactly. Let's see here. Apple shares. Look at that profit. Look at that massive net profit they're making. And when Apple makes net profit, China economy gets stronger. No one in the industry is doing more to improve the lives of their employees. I know they put those nets up, so when their employees try to kill themselves, they get stopped from killing themselves. It's like that's Apple's like psychological and healthcare there. China Apple Safety Program reduce suicide most effective way by putting up suicide nets. I mean, like they reduced the suicide rate more than like the major counseling programs of all the Fortune 500 companies put together. We are constantly auditing facilities, going deep into the supply chain, looking for problems, finding problems, and fixing problems, and we report everything because we believe transparency is so very important in this area. Yeah, Apple, and you're the company that left Pennsylvania because you didn't like religious freedom, but this is okay because it makes China economy strong. Okay, I'm just going to sing this part. Last month, 150 China employees threatened to leave from a 3-story building because of poor pay and bad working conditions. They were shot as traitors to make China economy strong. Yes, I know that that's getting obnoxious, but that's kind of the point. So that's pretty much all I had to say. I'm just gonna look through a couple more pictures. So Apple CEO Tim Cook visits. See, he's here. He's doing the thing. He's seeing the working conditions for himself. Obviously, this is not a Potemkin Village factory, and these people weren't threatened with a loss of wages and possible death if they didn't look happy. That's obviously not what's happening. Explosions. Holy shit. Lunch. Just worker bees eating their honey. Not just Apple products. Yep. Production line. Look at that employee parade. Look at that. Look how happy these people look. Actually, they all look fucking miserable. This woman here is crying. They all look like they're crying. I bet management forced them to do this shit, for the cameras. Suicide nets. Look at that. That is a progressive company. Suicide net factory. Emergency counseling center. As to combat the rise of cases of depression, suicide, I bet. And that's the queue up for jobs. And here we have some stuff. There we go. So that was another chronicle in the increasing strength of China economy. So as always, Remember, China has the strongest economy on Earth, and it is the strongest country on Earth. This is Argent Templar reporting from Beijing, signing out.